Welcome to all. I'm Anu Anand, publisher of Wisdom Village, and I'm honored to be here launching our book Uprising 2011, co-authored by Kiran Bedi and Pawan Chaudhary. I'm privileged to have our chief guest, Dr. Amitabh Mattu. He is a Padma Shri and one of India's leading thinkers. Is a director at Australia India Institute and a professor at University of Melbourne. He was the youngest vice chancellor of Jammu University, and he is a visiting professor at various universities, including Stanford, Notre Dame, Illinois. I now give the mic over to Dr. Mattu. Dr. Mattu.
Anuji, it's a great moment, a great honor, and absolutely delighted to launch Dr. Bedi's book. We launched the book, and then I'll say a few words before inviting the authors to speak, and then we'll have a Q&A session. I'm sure all of you will have many questions for the authors. So let's launch the book. Ladies and gentlemen, I've had the privilege of reading this book, and any one Indian in India, part of the global Indian diaspora, or really anyone concerned about India must read this book for at least 3 reasons. One, because it chronicles one of the most important political, social movements in India after independence, the uprising of 2011, which was really a movement for better governance, against corruption, and for a better India. The second reason is because all of you, all of us, must come together for a better India, for an India which is not where not only do people feel secure, but which is better governed. Politics is far too important to leave to politicians. Governance of this country is far too important to be left to civil servants, bureaucrats, politicians, or even the media. We must all act, and act now. And finally, this book is important because it's authored by 2 iconic individuals. Dr. Kiran Bedi, one of our great civil service officers, the first woman police officer, but more importantly, a person who individually, almost on her own, revolutionized various spheres of Indian governance and is now really one of the leaders for a better India. And Mr. Pawan Chaudhary, who is a scholar of wisdom, who writes about motivation, who writes about ways to improve yourself. And I do want to ask him what really attracted him to this idea of a book. So with these words, I recommend to all of you that the first thing that you do after this is buy a copy of the book. It's reasonably priced. It documents what is essential for everyone in India and abroad to read. And I'll invite Mr. Chaudhary to now say a few words.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mattu. Am I audible to everybody? Yeah. So I'm a student of wisdom. I am very fond of studying history and politics. And this fondness attracted me to this movement also. And this time the subject had changed, because not only was I studying this movement, one of its main actors, Dr. Kiran Bedi, I was closely associated with. So there were 3 basic things which attracted me to the book idea, to the book. First was, truth often gets distorted with time. The dust of time hazes truth. So this movement, because before it was dusty and distorted. It had to be captured through a book. That was the first purpose. The second was, I found the whole idea, and as we were developing the book, it's inspirational. It tells us what we are capable of. So it is like a tonic of inspiration. It tells us about our vitality, that this republic, this people, the media, the judiciary, the youth, the civil society, all of them came together and shook the nation. So I feel that when people will go and peep into this book, they will also get this elixir of inspiration somewhere. And lastly, for me, this book is like a memory pill. Public memory is probably, they say, public memory is short. So this will be a memory pill which will remind us of what happened. Many people say that Anna ki aag ab bujh gayi hai. The Anna movement is, the fire is doused. I would say the flames are not visible anymore, the flames have gone, but the embers are still burning. They need some fanning, we need to fan the fire. So for me, this book, it fans the fire. Like a dhokni, what you call fire bellows. We keep the fire alive through that. So this book, I feel, is like a fire bellow. It will keep that fire alive, and this fire should not die. Because if it dies, then our future, we do not know how many decades or how many 100 years we might have to wait for another thing like this to happen. So let us not allow it to die. Let us keep the memory alive. And this book and its subsequent website, which is being the namesake website, will, I hope, keep the memory alive. With this expectation, we brought the book to you. Dr. Mattu.
Before I invite Dr. Kiran Bedi to speak, let me again remind you that the book has a website, www.uprising2011.in. Do visit the website. And now I have the great honor and pleasure to invite one of India's greatest daughters, Dr. Kiran Bedi, to speak.
Thank you, Dr. Mattu. I want to thank the publisher and my co-author for having journeyed with me so far. Friends, I have an interesting habit since my teenage days of storing and preserving what I love. The movement of 2010 to 2012 of Indians Against Corruption, in which I got involved in, was something very unique which happened in my life. And all that happened was new. I hadn't got involved into movements. I'm an apolitical person, but truly patriotic, as that's what the uniform teaches you. The first thing is patriotism, otherwise you can't wear a uniform. I started to preserve whatever was happening during Anna's agitation. The way it developed, the way it picked up anger, the way it even subsided, apparently. I was preserving, not knowing what am I going to do with it. But while the movement was on, I was also looking at national freedom fighting movements, because we were actually in a national freedom movement. This time was against corruption. But there were such thick books. They were all thick books. I was looking for a quick book, looking at experiences learned, what could be done, what happens when your dirty tricks department starts on, what happens if somebody's initiative ebbs, what happens if there's infighting. I had the books, but I didn't have the time to run through them. So I had to go into it. We all had to go through it by our own instinct. This book is a seeing history. It's not reading history. When you open this book, it's all preserving all the clippings of that period. It's all beautifully clipped. We scoured through Anna Hazare's library, our own documentation, and we picked up all the turning points most objectively, whether they were complementary to us, whether they were not complementary to the movement. And we made it into a speaking, seeing history, not as much as reading history. But along with it, those who contributed very, very objectively, very honestly of the movement of the day, somebody like who would be reporting the Jaipur Literature Festival as it is. It's history. We thought we would preserve those, all those turning points, all those milestones. As the sequence grew, we sequenced them. And then objectively, all the cartoons which appeared, literally very interesting articles and critiques which appeared, we selected them as objectively as possibly, rightly, to do justice to history. And that is what this book is all about. It's all documents. It's an amazing quick compilation of actually giving longer shelf life to all that creative writing and reporting which happened at that time. For me, this book is for my generation and my generation next, because there are going to be more and more uprisings. You've already had a second uprising. The second uprising has been crimes against women, where women, same young men and women who were part of the Jantar Mantar or the Ramlila ground, were now speaking up and speaking out and agitating, we want justice, in the same way. We loved it. We saw the seeds of the first uprising travel and fruition into uprising 2. And I do believe there's going to be an uprising 3 with Justice Verma's committee recommendations on the table. They're amazing. And I cannot see that revolution happening without an uprising 3. Therefore, this uprising is for all those who are going to be integral part of a future uprising. But also, as Pawan very rightly said, we should not forget this uprising, because it was an amazing first time coming together, non-politically, patriotically, selflessly, for a cause which was bugging, which was hurting, and which is concerning all. That's what this book is, this chronicle, this document, this assembly is all about. You can download these pages also from the website, as Dr. Mattu said, on uprising2011.in, and then register and take a book. That's what we thought. We will make it available for online and offline. Thank you for being present today.
I know there are lots of people who would be wanting to ask questions from the authors, so may I invite people to... There are 2 roving microphones. Yeah. There's a gentleman here. Could you introduce yourself as well?
Sir, I am Vivek Mudgal. I am a photographer and a cartoonist. Sir, my question is, when everyone is opposing crime against women, corruption, whenever there is something, you see a lot of crowd on the roads, on the street, then who is doing it? When everyone is opposing, who is doing it?
Well, there's a giver and a receiver. There's been a giver and a receiver, except that the receiver is in a position of power and the giver is like you and me.
Lady Desai in the audience, may I invite you to...
Kiranji, as you know, I've been following your career for a long time, and it's wonderful to know what you're doing now. You said there's going to be a third uprising, and this you've sort of hinted at the fact that it could have something to do with the Justice Verma report. So do you think women of this country are in a position to come together, of course, with men, along with men who sympathize and empathize with them. But do you think we are in a position now to come together on a common platform, or do you think there is still a way to go for us and there needs to be much more groundwork done amongst, women's groups, NGOs, to get us all together? Because what it should not become is a Delhi-centric movement, not something which is just around India Gate and so on. So how does one prevent that?
I think media will have to be a co-partner. But with Justice Verma committee coming in, principals need to take over, the resident welfare associations need to take over, and newspapers need to keep reminding. I think community will have to play a very interesting role. Then the NGOs will need to take over. Continue to make a pathshala out of it. What has Justice Verma's committee with Mr. Gopal Subramaniam and Mrs. Leela Seth? They are revolutionary. They've cleaned up the act. They cleaned up elections. They've cleaned up the policing. They've cleaned up the politicians' criminal backyards, if we put it in place. Therefore, the onus is now on us, that every common man continues to understand through schools, colleges, through associations, through panchayats. We now need to take it forward. But as women, as a movement, I think we are much, much better than we were ever before.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, please identify yourself.
Yes, ma'am. This is Dr. R.K. Sharma. It is always a pleasure to listen to your achievements. Certainly, you have done a lot for the nation. We are very proud of you, first of all. And this is for the very first time that I heard you as a writer as well. It's a great achievement. First of all, I would like the people to have a great applause that ma'am is doing everything in all the dimensions. Secondly, since I am also a writer for the Times of India and an author also, so may I have a pleasure just for single minute to present a book over the stage?
After the event.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I will be there.
The lady in the fourth row.
Hello. Yeah, I'm Preeti Prakash from online media faceandfacts.com. I have a question for Madam Bedi. Like the Anna movement, where you all were very great part of it, and you had actually a leadership to yourself, where you guided the entire country the way to go about. Now this moment, the second uprising which took place for Nirbhaya, it is generally said, and what we've all reported also, is that this lacked leadership actually, which was very, very essential. It would have gone a better way had it had a proper leadership. It was, I mean, hey, it went sort of, it just fell back because of lack of. What do you have to say about this?
Respecting your view, I think it succeeded because it was not having any leaders with known faces. I think it's the unknown faces of the youth which actually compelled a Justice Verma committee, I can tell you. So respecting your view, while there's weight in that, I'm very happy that it did not have any one of us known faces and probably overseen and overused faces. They were fresh, and I think a whole new young leadership has emerged because of Uprising 2.
But will this, if other uprisings also come out the same way, will they be as good as the last ones?
Let's cross the bridge when it comes.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm Meenakshi Sharma from DLF City News. I got a chance to attend your session in Gurgaon where you had recommended community policing. And you know, the question that comes to all of us is, what can we, especially the women, as a community police, what is the role that you see for an ordinary citizen of India?
Justice Verma committee has already recommended retired judges, brilliant NGOs to be made even special executive magistrates, to be enrolled as special police officers under the law. Offer yourself. Challenge the authorities, saying, I want to be under the law, a special police officer of my area. Ask, apply. They should co-opt you. I can't imagine a crime prevention without the co-option of the community and intelligent, committed, learned people like you as special police officers.
Okay, gentleman here. Can someone give a microphone there,
Hello.
please?
Good morning, ma'am. My name is Prashant Hans. I'm from Rajasthan College, Jaipur. I just want to ask you that this is not the need of hour that we all should have a national character. This is my question.
I thought we all have one. We have one, but it's very individual. You're looking for a national, right? I would love to see that happen. But for that, we'll talk another day.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Myself Kush Rastogi from JECRC University. As a young Indian, I felt very, very encouraged when the movement was happening, because I felt that some slight changes, although they were very minor changes, but some changes were really happening in our society and corruption was getting reduced. But after the movement, as they say, subsided, but I say it's got paused, we all young Indians felt slightly depressed. Now what can we hope from you guys as our leaders to again rejuvenate our hopes that India will become better in coming years and corruption will definitely be reduced?
You've seen already a 10-year conviction for a former chief minister of Haryana called Mr. Chautala. This has not happened unusual. This is not a usual act. It's impacted people. It's impacted the minds and hearts of judiciary and this public service. It's impacted. It's making the difference. But now the movement is waiting to see what March, Parliament in March does. Because the Select Committee has already and unanimously passed the Lokpal Bill, and that is before the Parliament, and that should be introduced in March. If that comes, many Chotalas will look for small corners to hide. That will be the major change.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, please.
Hello. सर मैं हिंदी में बोलूंगा और मेरा
क्वेश्चन जरूर बोलिए हिंदी में।
मेरा क्वेश्चन बेसिक है सर। मैं ये चाहता हूँ सर,
आप अपना नाम बताइए पहले।
मेरा नाम जयप्रकाश है सर और मैं स्टूडेंट हूँ सर, है ना। बात ये है कि हम जैसे लोगों की ये हालत क्यों है? देश को 65 साल आज़ाद हुए हो गए, आज तक स्थिति क्यों नहीं सुधरी? क्या तो ये नेता कर रहे हैं? क्या मतलब इनके जैसे कितने लोग आज तक आंदोलन कर चुके? क्या हुआ? मतलब हम जैसे लोग इतने टैलेंटेड, या तो कहीं 2000 रुपए की जाके नौकरी करें और वो हम पैसे मांगे तो वो हमको लड़के मारे, तो हम जैसे लोगों की कहाँ जाए हम मैं पिछले साल भी इसी लिटरेचर में आके रोया था और आज भी मैं साल भर में कहीं नहीं कर पाया। मैं कहीं भी जॉब के लिए जाता हूं तो इंग्लिश की वजह से निकाल दिया जाता हूं, और मैं अपनी ही नहीं देश के हजारों करोड़ों युवा 70% आबादी की बात कर रहा हूं। बताओ आप जैसे कितने लोग आंदोलन कर चुके अब तक, कितने जैसे मतलब लोहिया और जयप्रकाश नारायण, मेरा नाम भी जयप्रकाश है, तो मतलब मैं हिस्ट्री का स्टूडेंट हूँ, पॉलिटिकल का स्टूडेंट हूँ, सोशलॉजी में एवरी पढ़ा है मैंने, संसार के बड़े बड़े लेखकों को पढ़ा है मैम। मतलब हम जैसों की योग्यता, हम जैसों की जो कर सकते हैं वो क्यों नष्ट हो रही है मैम? प्लीज ये कब होगा? क्या 65 साल में नहीं कर पाई है? बताओ। और देखो मैं आपको रियलिटी बता दूं मैम, सरकारी जो सिस्टम है इतना भ्रष्ट है, आप मर सकते हैं उनके सामने लेकिन आपकी बात नहीं सुन सकते वो। मुझे पता है कितना गिड़गिड़ाना पड़ता है, मतलब अपनी आत्मा बेच के रो के, लेकिन मतलब इन बातों को कोई करता ही नहीं है, सब बस बातें करते हैं आंदोलनों में, ठीक है, वहां जाके दिल्ली में जाके सब जगह। ये नहीं होता कि मतलब हुआ क्यों नहीं?
आपका सवाल सुन लिया लेकिन भाषण देने का टाइम नहीं है अभी
सर। बात ये है, एक मिनट, आपने दोनों चीजें कर दी, भाषण में प्रश्न हो गए। आप सुनिए पवन चौधरी साहब, एक मिनट, एक टेलीविजन प्रोग्राम करते हैं, उस प्रोग्राम का नाम हम ऐसे क्यों है, आओ इनसे पूछें।
तो पहली बात तो मैं बताऊं, जो किरण जी ने बोला हम ऐसे क्यों हैं, इस पे मैंने एक छोटी सी कविता बनाई थी, हिंदी में बोल रहा हूं क्योंकि आप भी हिंदी में बोल रहे हैं। दूसरों की फिक्र नहीं सिर्फ अपना ही ख्याल है, हम ऐसे क्यों हैं आज खड़ा यह सवाल है। ज्ञान की कमी नहीं समझदारी का अकाल है, हम ऐसे क्यों हैं आज खड़ा यह सवाल है। दूसरा पॉइंट आपने जो बोला, इतने आंदोलन हुए हमें क्या मिला? जयप्रकाश नारायण, लोहिया वगैरह सब ने आंदोलन किए, फिर क्या हुआ? इस पे भी दो पंक्तियां याद आ रही मेरे को। माना कि अंधेरा है घना, किसने कहा दिया जलाना है मना। दिया जलाओ, क्योंकि पत्थर को जब मारते हैं तो 100वीं चोट में अगर पत्थर टूटता है इसका मतलब नहीं है 100वीं चोट ने तोड़ा, पहले 99वीं चोट उसमें दरार पैदा कर देती हैं। They bring a fissure in that stone, and if the stone cutter was to think that nothing is happening to the stone, I fully agree with you, मैं पूरे आपसे सहमत हूँ कि बहुत भ्रष्ट और बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग है तंत्र, लेकिन उसको तोड़ने के लिए ये चोटें हैं, आने वाली किसी चोट में ये टूटेगा, लेकिन श्रेय सारी चोटों को जाना चाहिए, ये नाकामी नहीं है, ये अदृश्य दरार बन रही है। आज आप ये बोल रहे हो, आज पूरा देश पॉलिटिशियंस और ब्यूरोक्रेट से अकाउंटेबिलिटी मांग रहा है। पहले इतनी हिम्मत भी नहीं थी हमें, अन्ना मूवमेंट से पहले ये हिम्मत दे गया हमें अन्ना मूवमेंट, हमें एनर्जी भर दी इस मूवमेंट ने। इसके लिए हम सब अन्ना मूवमेंट के साथ, नॉट ओनली किरण जी, जो भी लोग अटैच्ड हैं, सबके हम शुक्रगुजार हैं कि ये किया। अब इसको, इस याद को फिर से दोहराएं और आगे बढ़ें।
65 सालों से यही तो कर रहे हैं सर।
हो गया, धन्यवाद।
नहीं मैम, बस यही होता है, आपने कह दिया हो गया, बस हो गया। 65 सालों से सिर्फ यही हो रहा है और ये कभी नहीं होगा मैम, मैं आज बता रहा हूँ आपको, ठीक है, यही हो रहा है, मुझे पता है ना। नहीं, बस यही है, आपने कह दिया हो गया, बस यही है ना।
देखिए, कोशिश सबने करनी है, आपने भी करनी है, अकेले ना किरण बेदी कर सकती ना आप कर सकते हैं, जब मिलके करेंगे तभी कुछ आंदोलन से कुछ बदलाव आएगा। अब समय, हमारे लिटरेरी फेस्टिवल वाले जो अधिकारी उन्होंने कहा कि समय अब खत्म हो गया, सो आई वुड लाइक टू नाउ thank everyone, the authors, the publisher, and above all of you for gracing this occasion. Thank you.